So an admin on Brainrot just messaged me this. We're testing a new feature. I added a drawing canvas to your Brainrot game. Press U once you join up. Alright, I just loaded up in Brainrot. It's time to press U on my keyboard. Boom! Is this a canvas? Wait, what is this? This is supposed to be the drawing canvas. And it looks like I could draw. It's time to draw the best Brainrot and Brainrot, the strawberry elephant. So let's first draw the nose, then its feet. And I'm not the best artist in the world, but I don't think I'm horrible. Now for its head, and then I gotta make the ears. Now let's get some green right here and add that on top. And strawberry elephants. Lila, Lila, common. Okay, well, you know what? I'm still gonna buy it. I guess that's good. I drew it and it appeared in Brainrot. So I guess whatever I draw comes to life. This thing isn't so bad. It makes $6 a second, but I want better Brainrots. Alright, I messaged the admin, how do I get better Brainrots? He already replied and he said, you need to get more money to get better Brainrots. Right now, you're at the first stage. And it looks like we're at stage 0, which means I currently have $0 right now. And it looks like there's multiple stages all the way up to $1 trillion. So my goal is to get all the way up there, but right now I only have $1,000, and it looks like the next stage is at $50,000, which at that point I could probably draw Brainrots worth up to $50,000, which makes sense. But for now, I gotta get there. So I guess I gotta rely on all these Tim Cheese. Alright, so right now I only have not even $1,000. It might take a while to get to 50,000. So I should probably increase this cash multiplier. Boom, now it's at 3.1 times. That costs a little bit of Robux, but at least we're getting more money. So I'm just gonna wait until we get to $50,000. And I'm gonna buy more Brainrots while I'm doing that. And on these later stages, we're gonna be drawing the most insane Brainrots. Alright, it's been some time, and I now have $70,000. So we are now officially on stage number 2 at $50,000. Which means if I press U again, we are back at our canvas. So let's create our next Brainrot. And I'm pretty sure a Brainrot that's worth 50,000 is a chimpanzini bananini. And I'm drawing purely from memory. So let's start off with some green like this. And then make a face. And then we're gonna change our paintbrush to be this pink color. And we can actually fill this in with our paint bucket. Just like that. Let's fill in the green. Now time for the banana part of the chimpanzini bananini. Let's create the banana peel. And I'm not gonna lie, I think that's pretty good. Now to fill in that with yellow. Alright, that's filled in. All we have to do is now create the eyes. So let's create 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth. And I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty good. Now let's try and enter this in. Chimpanzini bananini! And we already have $50,000, so boom. We could collect that. And since the next level is 100,000, we could probably collect all our Brainrots and... oh gosh, we're not there yet. But I feel like we can make our chimpanzini bananini more overpowered. So let's click this drawing button again. We have our chimpanzini bananini here, but this time let's write in all traits right above the Brainrot. And maybe if I spawn this in again... oh my gosh! Hey, no way, it actually worked! And it still only cost $50,000. And how much money is that making per second? I can't even see. But wait a minute. Oh, we just made $100,000. Oh my gosh, we're already on the next level. Alright, which means we could draw our next Brainrot, so let's click U. And to draw a Brainrot worth $100,000, we need to think of a Brainrot. First, we're gonna start off with a lighter color like this. Let's first make the face, and I'm not gonna lie, it might be hard to see. So let's add a little effect to this layer just to make it easier. Now we can make our brush bigger, and let's fill this in. And then we gotta grab the skin color of this character. So let's change our paintbrush, make it like this. And you probably don't know what this Brainrot is, which is perfect because I wanna make this a surprise. Now we're gonna make her clothes right here, and oh gosh, I already leaked her gender. And then right here, then I wanna go through and make her legs. And you know what, I'm gonna say it right now. I'm making ballerino cappuccino. Main thing that makes her ballerina cappuccino, though, is her teacup head. Perfect. Now to make her lips, and then finally her eyes, which she's a girl, of course, so let's make her eyes look like this. And oh gosh, this might look a little bit creepy. Then we gotta get some white, and then black, and oh gosh, that is terrifying. Now the last thing we gotta do is write all traits. Alright, boom, that's a lot better. Now let's see if this thing will spawn. Boom, a ballerina cappuccino. She costs $100,000. This thing is insane, and it has perfect max traits. This drawing device is absolutely insane. Now if we collect all this stuff, we should be at $500,000, which allows us to draw our next Brainrot. And actually, wait a minute, we have a lot more money here. We have $3 million now. Oh my gosh. Okay, we can actually skip a few levels, which means we're skipping 500,000 and we're going straight on to $1 million. So we can now draw a Brainrot worth $1 million, and I'm gonna be drawing the Tigerlini Watermeloni. I hope I pronounced that right. First thing I have to do is I have to get some green real quick. Let's first make the watermelon of the Tigerlini Watermeloni, because that is the main focus. Let's fill this side in with green. Let's go with a light green. Then let's fill the top in with red. Then of course, every watermelon has the seeds. So we can draw it like this. And we're gonna leave the head open because we're gonna make the actual tiger here. First off, we gotta get its white right here to make its beard. Make this a little bit thicker. Then we're gonna outline this with black so you can see a little bit better. Then we're going to make the tiger mouth and then the tiger nose. Not gonna lie, this does not look like a tiger yet, but just wait. Now we're gonna change our paintbrush and we're gonna get the yellow parts of this tiger. And now we got the top right here. Let's make its ears. Oh gosh, this does not look good at all. Alright, I got this right here, and we can make the eyeballs. Boom. Does this look like the tiger lady? I am not sure. I gotta fill this in with white right here. So let's get some white. Boom, and then get some black. And okay, that looks more like a frog than a tiger. Next up, we gotta get the legs, and let's get some yellow, as well as some black. And boom, that's our tiger. That it looks so scuffed. Okay, and boom. Oh gosh, I forgot to put all traits on there. Give me 1 second. Let's write all traits. Alright, I hope that worked. Boom! Okay, that thing makes $300,000 a second. I'm buying that. And wait, my base is full. Oh gosh, I gotta sell some stuff. Sell, and come on. I gotta get this. Alright, this should make me more money. A lot more money, too. Boom! We now have, let's see. Oh my gosh, wait. We are collecting way more money than before. We have 4.2 million. The next level is at $10 million. And we can actually get that right now. So, let's draw our next Brainrot, which is gonna be a $10 million Brainrot. And I know exactly what Brainrot to draw for 10 million. The most iconic Brainrot, or one of the most iconic. The very iconic Tra-la-la-la-tra-la-la. First, we gotta make its shark body right here. Boom. That is one part of it, and it looks a little scuffed right now. Don't worry about that. We're gonna make its face right here. And then right here, we're gonna make its toes. We're gonna make one foot right there and one foot right there. And then we're gonna fill these in, because right now it looks a little scuffed. So let's fill in all these sections with blue. Fill in this section right here. And it looks a little bit scuffed right now, because we haven't made the face or the shoes. Let's get started on with the face. We could go right here. Let's make its mouth look pretty thick. And then for the nostrils, we can make it right here. And the eye is right here. Okay, that looks a little bit more like a shark. Next up, sharks have like fins right here, so we can draw that right there. And then we want to get blue, dark blue for his shoes. So we can go like this and make one shoe. Second shoe, third shoe, and that is our tra-la-la. But of course, we cannot forget to write all traits at the top to make it overpowered. Boom! Oh my gosh. $2.4 million? That is insane! And look at all those traits. Okay, I'm selling all my old Brainrots. I'm sorry. Fake strawberry elephant, you're gone. Tim changes itself, you're also gone. With this, we're gonna be able to level up to the next level, which should be at $50 million, I think. And boom, we have $81 million. So we're now up to $50 million. And I'm not gonna lie, we can low-key skip the next level, and we are at $100 million. Which, for the next one, I have a perfect idea of what to draw. We're going to draw a spider in this one, but this time, we're gonna try something different. First, to start off with the spider, you need to make its claws. Then you're gonna make its body, and then its claws again. I think there's like 6 legs on the spiderini, so we're gonna draw all those. Alright, that is the spiderini body. Now we can fill this in real quick. So let's get some brown and fill it in. Now next up, we gotta make the spiderini head. So let's go like this and fill that in with the dark brown. So let's expand our paintbrush, and boom. Then we gotta build the spiderini face. It should be this light pink color. And it has a similar face as the chimpanzini bananinis. I'm doing it exactly that. Let's make an eyeball right here and an eyeball right there. Okay. Then we gotta make an eye right there. Oh gosh, yo, this looks so cursed. Now we gotta make 2 nostrils right there. A mouth, and let's add its little details with its teeth. Okay. Well, the thing I was gonna do is I could actually move this down real quick. I could actually go into the settings and make this thing rainbow. Oh my gosh. It just spawned a rainbow Sammy the Spiderini. Looks a little bit different from my painting, but you know, this one's sick. Alright, you know, I'm collecting this. But if I collect all the money I have right now, I have $500 million. Which should actually mean that I have a $500 million budget, but I could actually collect this right here, and I'm at $2.6 billion. Now we're all the way up to $1 billion. Oh my gosh. Okay, now that I'm in the billions, I can actually draw a Brainrot that's worth $1 billion. Which I'm not gonna lie, is gonna be pretty difficult because these Brainrots are pretty detailed. So, I'm gonna try to draw a La Grande Competizione. And there is a lot of different Brainrots inside of that thing. First, we gotta draw the first one, which is the, tongue. Hey, yo, RIP tongue Sahor for real. Alright, that's 1 foot right there, and now I could select that and fill it in. Make the eyes of tongue, and then make a little face plus a little arm. And that is the first part of the La Grande. Next up, we got some black. I'm not sure what the black is for, but that's what La Grande looks like, so we're gonna make it. And of course, I'm making this with rainbow and adding all traits at the very end. This Brainrot is gonna be overpowered. Alright, that is the shark part of it. I just need to add a little detail right here. The little mouth on the shark, we could add it right here with the shark fins and the face. Boom, that's perfect. Next up, there is this green part right here. Then another green part right here with some white. And lastly, there's like this gray clock at the top. I'm not sure what that's for, but we're making it. Okay, boom. And that's the La Grande. But of course, we need to make this rainbow. So let's give this the rainbow effect and then write all traits. Bro, this thing is going to be the most overpowered Brainrot ever. All right, time for this thing to spawn. Oh, wait, what happened to the traits? Okay, well, let me fix that real quick. All right, I think I need to add the I and the T. All right, there we go. Oh my gosh, $500 million a second? That is insane. insane. Okay, I just have to see how much money this thing makes. I have $3 billion in this already. I have $2 billion in this. For the next level, I need $10 billion, and I already got that. But I think we could skip over to the next level for $50 billion. So let's just wait a little bit.
A few inches later.
All right, just by waiting a little bit, we only need $4 billion. And boom, now I'm gonna open up the canvas. And now we have a $50 billion budget. And I know the perfect Brainrot to make for this. First, I need to start off with some white. We're gonna start off like this. Then we gotta make the hands right on the left and the right. Then I gotta make the base of this thing. And you're probably guessing it is a toilet. Yeah, we're making a spaghetti toiletelli. A spaghetti inside of a toilet. I don't know why this Brainrot exists, but you know what? Don't ask me. I am not Sammy the owner. Next up, we gotta get some orange for the noodles. So we're gonna put the noodles inside of the toilet right here. This looks kind of disgusting, but you know what? We have to make it so that we can get more money to get to $1 trillion. All right, next up, we gotta work on the eyes. So let's make these eyes blue. Let's go one right here, and let's go another right here. Then let's get some black, and of course, make a smiley face. Guys, I am not an artist. Do not judge. Maybe they shouldn't have given me this canvas, because, yeah, no. I definitely messed this thing up. All right, now let's write all traits. I think we could just write this on the bottom. Let's see what happens if we make this thing rainbow. Boom. Okay, that looks pretty cool. Okay, what this thing makes, I think that says $3.1 billion a second. We might skip a few levels with this thing. Oh my gosh. Okay, we already have $300 billion. That means I think we just skipped the $100 billion level. And I want to get up to the $500 billion level because I have a perfect idea of what to draw. All right, boom, 500 billion. It's time to draw the next thing. The next thing we're drawing is yellow. And I think you could guess, obviously, because this is one of the best Brainrots in the game. So let's first make its arms. Its arms could be a little small. Then let's go into the legs. This looks a little weird, but once I draw the wing, it's gonna look a lot better. We're making the dragon cannelloni. All right, that should be good for the shape. Now let's fill this all in. All right, perfect. Now we can get a dark yellow right here. And let's make the chest of this thing. Let's get some spikes up in here because the dragon cannelloni has some spikes. Make his feet. And of course, the most important thing is the mouth. So we gotta make the mouth first. Then we gotta get the teeth in there. The white teeth, then the eye of the dragon, which I think is actually blue. So we're gonna give him a blue eye with a black pupil. And there we go, that is our scuffed dragon. Give it the rainbow effect. Oh yeah, that looks sick. Now let's just write all traits at the top. And are you ready for the most overpowered dragon in the game to spawn? Boom. Dragon cannelloni. How much does this even give? That costed $200 billion. That was a lot of money, but this could get me to $1 trillion. Oh, wait a minute, I already have $1 trillion in here. What? Okay, this thing also makes an insane amount of money. We already made it to $1 trillion. But now that we have unlocked the very final level at $1 trillion, I want to try drawing something that's not even in Steel Brainrot. And the perfect thing to try and draw is the Minecraft zombie. This thing is in Minecraft. If this thing spawns in Steel Brainrot, that'd be crazy. All right, let's first make the blue pants. Next up, let's make the light blue shirt. Of course, we need the zombie gray shoes. Draw those. Now we can get all the green in the zombie. Green arms. Green arms right here. And of course, the green head. All right, now time for the face. And boom. Now it's time to spawn this thing in. Did it work? Oh my gosh. $250 billion per second. I think it's safe to say that I beat this challenge. And I drew a lot of Brainrots. Please subscribe.